One of our main missions in the 17th Artillery was to fly convoy cover and also to reconnaissance north and south of Highway 19. This is a compilation of flights made in 1967 and 1968. Here we're taking off from An-Khe Airfield. There you can see Hong Kong Mountain, an older view there with just the first cav patch. And then in a couple of minutes we'll see it later on after the first cav had moved north. And you can see the other patches have been added, and also they've started to cut a road down from the top of the mountain. The aircraft we use mostly is the L-19 or the O-1 Bird Dog. It has an advantage over a helicopter and has a lot more loiter time. You can stay in the area about 2 hours instead of, say, 20 minutes with a helicopter due to the smaller fuel consumption. Here the convoy is getting ready to move out early in the morning, and before they can go, first of all, we have to be there so we can fly convoy cover, although since we don't really do anything until they actually start. But the road will be swept first by the infantry, and also in some cases they'll have minesweep teams out there. During the night, troops pull back to the fire bases and the strong points and things like that. And then during the day, we would go out there. Here they are sweeping the road ahead of the convoy. This is probably the 1st of the 50th Mechanized Infantry. You can see that the road has been pushed back, the brush has been pushed back about a couple of 100 yards on either side. At various times earlier, probably before the Americans got there, they had blown all these bridges in VA, but many have been replaced since then. This is a convoy we had to pick up all the way on the other side of An-Khe Pass and take all the way to Mangyang Pass. Had some sort of secret cargo. We didn't know what was in it, but we had to be there and fly very low to protect them. Here are more vehicles coming up the pass here. Here's a bypass tanks. These are tanks, probably the 1st of the 69th Armor. And there were Bailey bridges put on there, but they bypassed them because the tanks were too heavy for those. So, this is LZ Schuler, one of the 17th Artillery's fire bases, protecting the road. Another view of it here. At one time this was our furthest west, but later we moved one and put another battery at the base of Mangyang at LZ Action. This is a mountain yard village here. The mountain yards had originally inhabited this area, but they were moved in because the area, the wilderness area here, was used mostly by nobody lived there, and the VC occupied it. Here's an operation with the 1st of 69th Armor tanks going up an old abandoned road that hadn't been used in years. Tanks could be used in many areas, particularly this area of Vietnam, which is pretty dry. Well, as far as no rice paddies, it's mostly wilderness. There's the tank there. And in a minute here, I think we'll see, I think probably their battalion commander flying overhead in a helicopter. There he goes. So tanks can be used a lot, and you could do many things in these areas if you didn't set a pattern. This is the top. These are the mountains around Mangyang Pass here. And then here we're reconning with another L-19 or Bird Dog south of Mangyang Pass. Looking at some areas, the VC in VA often set up their base camps and boundaries between two divisions. In this case, the 1st Cav, later the 173rd, and the 4th Division on the other side. Here we're in the L-19. You can see he's just fired a rocket here, and he's going to fire another. It will come from the left. You'll see the red streak. White phosphorus. They had white phosphorus marking rounds in case we had to bring in Air Force aircraft. They fly at 600 miles an hour and frequently have a little trouble seeing exactly what they're aiming at, so you'd fire a marking round first, and they would try to drop the bombs on the white smoke. They're going to fire there's another rocket. This was a hut or hooch, whatever you want to call it, that was in a free fire zone. Well, the free fire wasn't supposed to be there. Here they're checking out some mountain yards that were actually perfectly okay. Then here we go along the road a little bit more, and eventually we'll see one of the outposts, last outpost before you got to the empty part of the road. This is Oknok. At this point it had been abandoned, but was still used occasionally as an outpost.